Hello students, how are you all? Today in this video, we will learn the poem The Cold Within written by James Patrick Kinney. James Patrick Kinney was an American poet. The title of the poem, The Cold Within, means the coldness of heart, heart without virtues. Virtue means good qualities like compassion, forgiveness, care, kindness, cooperation, etc. The poem is very simple, but it has deep moral behind it. It tells us how six human beings react in times of adversity. The poem The Cold Within is written in the form of a parable. Students, you must be knowing the meaning of the word parable. Parable means a short story that teaches a lesson, and this poem teaches us that we should rise above petty barriers of class, caste, color, creed, and give the message of brotherhood. Now open your reader, Treasure Trove, page number 11. First, I will read the poem. Six humans trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the story is told. Their dying fire in need of logs, but the first one held hers back. For of the faces round the fire, she noticed one was black. The next man looking across the way saw one knot of his church and could not bring himself to give the fire his stick of birch. The third one sat in tattered clothes. He gave his coat a hitch. Why should his log be put to use to warm the idle rich? The rich man just sat back and thought of the wealth he had in store and how to keep what he had earned from the lazy, shiftless poor. The black man's face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from his sight, for all he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. The last man of this forlorn group did not accept for gain. Giving only to those who gave was how he played the game. Their logs held tight in death's still hands was proof of human sin. They did not die from the cold without, they died from the cold within. Now open your workbook, page number 14. Poem at a glance. Six people are trapped accidentally in cold weather. So there were six people who were trapped in cold weather. Each one of them has a stick, and each of them, they were holding a stick in his or her hand. None of them is willing to give the stick to the fire which is about to die. Though all six are aware that very soon the fire will die, but none of them is willing to give his or her stick. Why? The answer is because they all are having so many vices in them. Vices means bad qualities like prejudice, malice, selfishness, etc. The white woman thinks that she should not use her stick for the black man in the group. The first person is the white woman. And when this woman sees that one black man is sitting in that group, she does not want to use her stick. It clearly shows racial discrimination. The second man cannot find anyone from his own church and does not give his stick. When the second man sees that there is no one of his church, he does not give his stick. Now this action of this person shows narrow-mindedness. The third is a poor man, and he holds grudge against the rich. The third man is a poor man, and he refuses to give his stick because of a rich man, as he is having some grudge against the rich. The rich man thinks that he should not waste his stick to provide warmth to the poor man. The fourth is a rich man, and he does not waste his stick for the poor man. The fifth one is the black man. The black man thinks of taking revenge against the white woman for the injustices that has happened to his people in the past. The fifth is the black man, and after seeing the white woman, he recalls all the injustices that has happened to his people. The sixth man is a selfish man who cannot think beyond himself. And the last person is a selfish person, a selfish man. He is an opportunist. He believes in the policy of give and take. Thus, all the six people die not because of the cold outside, but because of the lack of warmth for each other. This last line is very important because it tells us that in the end, all six of them perished. They could have saved each one of them by keeping the fire alive with their respective sticks to fight the cold outside. But their actions were dictated by all the vices like prejudice, malice, jealousy, selfishness, etc. So all of them died because of the lack of warmth for each other. Now we will see stanza-wise explanation. Stanza 1. 6 humans trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the stories told. The first 4 lines describes the situation in which 6 people are trapped. In the first line, the poet, in place of the word people, uses the word humans. 6 humans are actually 6 different individuals. They are all different from each other. If we talk about their color, religion, nature, and accidentally they all got stuck at one place, means it was an accident. Trapped by happenstance. Happenstance means accident. Thus, their meeting was not pre-planned. It was their fate, their destiny that brought all 6 together. Second line reads, in bleak and bitter cold. These 2 adjectives, bleak and bitter, means severe cold. The phrase bleak and bitter cold symbolizes extreme situations of life when one cannot live alone and one must leave all his vices, prejudices to help one another mutually. In the phrase bleak and bitter cold, alliteration is used. Alliteration is a literary device or a poetic device which means repetition of consonant sounds. Here both bleak and bitter, these 2 words start with same consonant B, which shows the use of alliteration. Third line reads, each one possessed a stick of wood, means each one of them was holding a stick in his or her hand. Or, so the stories told means that this story has been told earlier and it has passed from generations to generations. So this was not something new. It was an old story which the poet has written in the form of a poem. Now explanation from your workbook. The first 4 lines of the poem provide a brief description of the situation in which the 6 people are accidentally trapped in an unbearable cold wave and where each of the 6 people has a stick along with them. The lines also evoke suspense as to what these people are going to do with their sticks in bleak and bitter cold. The poet moreover points out that it is a popular story, and the poet takes the popular story for retelling in his poem as the story is being narrated. Stanza 2. Their dying fire in need of logs, but the first one held hers back. For of the faces round the fire, she noticed one was black. The dying fire in need of logs. The first line means the fire around which those 6 people are sitting, that fire is about to die and is in need of fuel, so to keep it burning. But the first one held hers back means the first person of the group is a woman and she held hers back. Held hers back means her stick. She does not give her stick to the dying fire. Why? Your answer is in the 3rd and 4th lines. For of the faces round the fire, she noticed one was the black. So the reason for not giving her stick was the black man sitting there. This clearly shows racial discrimination. This means she was ready to die, but she was not ready to save that black man who was sitting in that group. Now the explanation which is there in your workbook. The 6 people have gathered round a fire to keep themselves safe and warm from the cold wave. But the fire is about to die as it needs more logs of wood to keep on burning. The first person looks at the fire and then to the 6 people gathered around the fire and sees a black man and decides not to give her piece of wood to the fire as she does not want to save a black man from cold by her piece of stick. The first person is obviously a white woman. So now remaining stanzas we will learn in the next video. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe. God bless you all.